Hey guys, I hope you're all having a great day, and today I once again bring you some good news and some bad news about Season 12, and of course this has caused a whole lot of controversy. Now whether or not this is good news or bad news, it really does depend on you and what you prefer in Apex, but I'll just go ahead and explain what exactly has happened. So we recently got some gameplay from some of the biggest Apex streamers, YouTubers, etc. And two pretty big changes in my opinion have caused a lot of people to get very mad at Respawn. And both of these changes are movement based. One of these changes is the removal of punch boosting, and another change is a significant nerf to tap strafing. First, I'll show you a clip up on screen right now, basically showing you what they did to tap strafing.
Like this is strafing normally, right? Like if I just like look with D, right? But it's just like tap strafe. Like it's like almost like nothing.
Now before we even advance further into the video, I want to make one thing very clear. This might not be the best example of gameplay with the new tap strafing change, as I'm sure it'll take some getting used to for a lot of people to fully implement this new sort of tap strafing. Yes, while it is nerfed, it still allows a bunch of the previous movement mechanics that we have to still be used, and it's definitely a whole lot better than them simply removing tap strafing from the game. And of course, I do also want to make another point. Personally, I'm not very in favor of this change, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna stop enjoying Season 12. This is simply one of the changes that they're bringing to the game, and honestly guys, I don't really see Respawn budging too much when it comes to tap strafing and whether or not they're going to revert these changes. Plus, there's so much other fantastic stuff that we get in Season 12, such as the crypto buff, which is, in my opinion, definitely going to push him into the meta. For those of you that aren't crypto players, you might not see the full power of this buff yet, but for those of you that are crypto mains, especially those of you that have been playing crypto for a very long time, I'm sure you already see the exact reasons as to why this is such a powerful buff, and these changes very well might push me back into playing crypto. I've always thought of him as a powerful legend, and now he's even more powerful. There's just so many ways you can use this to your advantage. It's absolutely incredible. Season 12 is bringing a lot of incredible changes. Most of these changes are very good for the game. We have map changes, legend changes, and balancing, new abilities that change up the meta and make the game more refreshing, stuff like that. And the only thing that can make this even better is if Respawn introduces ways to make the movement in Apex remain unique while also having a higher skill ceiling. The main problem that a lot of people have with removing tap strafing isn't that tap strafing itself is getting removed, but instead they're having a problem with the bigger picture. Respawn is always removing advanced movement mechanics that raise the skill ceiling for Apex when it comes to its movement, and since movement is one of the main reasons as to why Apex is such a unique battle royale, then that starts to become a problem after a very long time, especially since tap strafing has been around for quite a while and so many people have made this such a large part of their gameplay. It really will affect a whole lot of players, especially players at a very high skill level, as this is essentially taking out a massive chunk of the way they play the game. Of course, over time we will adapt to these changes and will not only find new and more interesting ways to use what we have left of tap strafing, but we'll also find new movement mechanics, just like how we discovered punch boosting this season, and of course that's going to propel Apex into a better and better place. Now I also want to make this point clear. I understand why so many people are frustrated about this, and I do see why both controller players and mouse and keyboard players have differing opinions, especially on movement mechanics like this, where it's much harder to do on controller compared to mouse and keyboard. The same thing goes for punch boosting. While that's more accessible on both controller and mouse and keyboard, it is still harder to do on controller, and so once again mouse and keyboard has an advantage when it comes to things like this. So with all that being said, I'll end the video with this conclusion. I do hope that in the future Respawn allows more of these advanced movement mechanics to stay in the game, as I really do think they improve the gameplay experience overall. And if there is an unfairness between two platforms, instead of simply nerfing it on one platform, make it available for all players. Instead of nerfing tap strafing, why not make it accessible to controller players? Now I understand there are some limitations, and I do understand there are some problems when it comes to tap strafing and the way it affects gameplay, so tap strafing might not be the best possible example of implementing this sort of change, but I do hope that in the future with more advanced movement mechanics, they do find a way to make them more accessible for any player instead of simply looking to remove it or nerf it. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the new Season 12 patch and the changes that they're bringing with it. Let me know in the comments below what you think about these changes, as I'm sure a lot of you have differing opinions, and I'm very excited to see what the community thinks about these changes. Alright, that's enough talk for me. Hope you guys enjoyed, and of course as always, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.